My name is Jayden Smith. I am a junior here at Davidson College. I am from Richmond, Virginia, and I'm studying environmental studies, and I'm a Hispanic studies minor. Well, my father is actually a track coach, so I've been involved with track for the majority of my life. I've always been going to, high school meets when I was a little kid, watching them run. I used to be annoyed going to the track meets because it would take the entire day and I'd want to go home. But in middle school, I remember I did track my 6th grade year, and I really enjoyed it. And I think we didn't have a middle school team, so I went straight to JV as a 7th grader. And then from there, I just kept running. I got better at it, and I was like, I think this is the sport for me. So I just kept going with it. I was a freshman in high school, and I did a lot of different things. I did sprints, I did long jump and triple jump and high jump. But I was also a freshman, and there were several other upperclassmen who did the exact same events I did, but better. And so they were like, Jayden, we need you to do something that's going to contribute to the team more. You need to step up into some better positions. And so they had me do hurdles. And I was very much so, I was a yes man. I was a person to be like, okay, yeah, I'm on board, let's do it. So I started doing hurdles my freshman year, and my main goal that year was just to beat my captain in at least one race. He was a decathlete, so he did everything. And eventually I beat him, and I started beating people from other schools, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm kind of good at this. I'm kind of good at this event. And I've been doing it ever since. So this is, I think I'm finishing up year 7 of doing hurdles, which is wild for me to say. It took a couple races. I remember the first few were a little ugly. I was hitting hurdles. I remember being a little scared going into the hurdles at first. I was like, there's a very real possibility that I could just fall on my face in front of everyone. But I think, in a kind of ironic way, I love to race. I was the type of person where when there was someone next to me, it was my main goal to just try and beat them by as much as I could. And in doing that, I started to become more and more motivated to become better at hurdles, and that kind of instilled that race mentality into me. And I think my freshman year, like I said, I was trying to beat my captain. He was my first rival that I was trying to beat. And once I beat him, I was constantly looking for someone else that I could beat. So I got an email from Davidson College talking about coming to this team, and I was like, oh, I haven't really heard of this place before, but I'll give it a try. It's still the beginning of the search. And I was so conflicted because I was looking at all these other schools, and I was like, how is it that one of the first schools that is looking at me is one of the perfect matches? It was a small school. It had a good academic reputation. It was a Division I school, and it was in North Carolina, which is only 4 hours away from my home in Richmond, Virginia. So I was like, so many of my boxes are being checked off right now that I might as well just go ahead and commit early. And here we are. My college career has had its ups and downs, I won't lie. I am extremely nervous for the meets coming up, and I think a big part of the last few weeks was kind of me getting that confidence to represent myself in the way I wanted to. Davidson is a small school, and when you go to track meets, you're going to go against a lot of bigger schools, a lot of Power 5 schools, and I remember as a freshman and even as a sophomore, I was intimidated by a lot of them. You would see these big names and you'd be like, wait a minute, why am little old me from Davidson College going against this powerhouse from this school? But I think, as you say, representing this school has been an amazing opportunity for me. And I see it less of an underdog thing and more over me getting the opportunity to represent Davidson in the best way I can and help put ourselves on the map as far as track and field goes. I want people to know that we're a small program, but we're a very mighty program, and we're only going to grow. And I am glad to be able to help push that narrative as much as I can. There's not many things in my life that I can say I've put in so much work to get to the point I'm at right now. I'm so happy to be at Davidson College. I work like a dog as a student. I try to do my best to keep pushing forward academically, make my parents proud, get good grades. But in retrospect, I look back and I'm like, I spend so much time thinking about this sport and about how I want to improve. And when I go to practice, I talk to my coach, and I like to talk myself through things. I like to experiment and see what works best. I feel like it's taken a lot of work and trial and error to get to this point. and I'm just so excited to be at the point I'm at and to keep going and growing and just seeing what's next. I really, really want to be a champion. I want to be an NCAA champion. I want to bring home an NCAA trophy for Davidson. Time-wise, I want to run 13.1, maybe even 13.0. I look back at my race from last week, and it gets me excited because I had a really explosive start, but then me and my coach were talking. I kind of ease off in the latter half because I want to stay more controlled. I feel like if I can just continue accelerating that speed and trusting myself to get through that line, then I have a really crazy time in me that I can, put on the table to get the win. But yeah, ultimately, I want to win. At least All-American, but I want to win.